Hey y'all, just waiting on a few people to get in the room. If you're catching this replay on my Facebook or my YouTube page, I just wanted to let you know that I have a YouTube page, first of all, for my Facebook friends. My YouTube page is Delores, the pastor's daughter, on YouTube. And you can follow me also on Facebook at Delores, the pastor's daughter. And then I'm also on Instagram, Delores, the pastor's daughter. But I'm not that active on Instagram. I'm trying to get better at that. So I'm just waiting on a few more people to get in here. How was your day? How you doing today? I actually had a really productive day. I got up early, made hubby some breakfast, and then I got some outside work done. So I'm not really an outside person, so I spent a few hours outside too. So I was really proud of myself. Got to soak up some sun and just beautify the house a little bit. So I just want to address the video that I posted the other day. I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't been able to watch it, like to watch the video. You know, I say rewatch it, but I wasn't. I guess you could consider it watching. If I was on here, I was watching myself live, but I haven't rewatched it, and I haven't gotten up the nerve yet to post that video on my YouTube page. But I think I'm gonna do it today. I'm just gonna go ahead and post it, and I just have to put a disclaimer out there because my husband told me not to apologize for that video, so I'm not going to apologize. Because I think he knew that at some point I'd probably feel like I needed to, feel the need to apologize. Hey, Sonia. How are you? Hey, y'all. I'm hoping y'all having a good day. I'm having a good day. But I did want to address some things that aren't so good. So I don't know if you guys have had a chance to catch my live video that I did a few days ago. Hey Tara. Hey, if y'all don't mind, do me a favor and just like the video and share it with somebody. You know what? Share it with a pastor, Share it with a bishop, Share it with a church mother. Share it with the saints and the friends. Because I made this post. I should have looked and see when I made this post, but it was like shortly after the Carry-On Franklin incident, where Kurt Franklin had made some threats to Carry-On Franklin. And I posted because it had gotten me triggered. Because I was like, when I heard it, I heard the threats, and I could, it's like I could feel how Carry-On must have felt to feel that it was necessary to record his father. Because, like I said, I too was having that same stuff happening at the same time. So when people like really lashed out at Carry-On, it just, it kind of scared me a bit. And so, I kind of just retreated, a lot, because I'm like, if y'all are like, if y'all are getting so worked up about the Carry-On Franklin recordings, then, you're going to be shocked by the things that you hear that I recorded from my father. So I was like, I don't know if they're ready for this. And so I made this post that said, nobody gaslights like church people. And it was, I have to admit that it hurt me, because my godmother, I felt attacked me, in her response to my post. Now, she said when she responded that she didn't know what gaslighting was. So, I mean, in my opinion, maybe she should have asked or looked it up before she responded, because what she did was exactly gaslighting me. But, you know, she apologized in that post, but she never actually reached back out to me. And even with everything that's been going on, all the videos that I've done and the posts that I've made, she still hasn't reached out to me. And it's like, but that's my godmother. And then I was thinking, I know that there's been people that, kind of take the whole godmother role for granted. I guess like recently it's just become just, something to give somebody that you're really close to and you feel like you can trust them. But when I think of it, I thought about, when I entrusted people with, with that position for my children, it was, more than just a formality. It was like I felt something spiritually. I felt a connection with that person, and I felt that I could trust my children with them, or my child with them. And it was something that, like, when a child is christened and they're in a church, and they usually have the godparents there, and it's like they're part of the whole ceremony. And so I was thinking, like, when my godmother attacked me over my comment about church folk gaslighting people, I felt that it was like, this is exactly what I'm talking about. And it's like, they're not even listening. They're not even listening. Now, let me just say what gaslighting is, because it's really not good to use these terms in videos like that and just leave them up for interpretation. So basically, gaslighting is a manipulation tactic. Hey T, it's a manipulation tactic. And when I say that nobody gaslights like church people, what I mean is that not only is gaslighting denying someone's reality, it's like that's almost like the fundamentals of what's preached. I mean, we tell each other, we tell people in the church all the time, like, don't admit that you're sick. Don't say that you're sick, because then it's like you're giving room for the devil. But it's like, but I am sick. That's my reality, And so it's like almost like the fundamentals of Christianity is like, it almost is like it denies you your reality. And then when you take someone who is toxic, like my father, for instance, then, he could take that to a whole other level, with like twisted scriptures and deflecting and minimizing and denying my reality. And so when I was thinking about like how church folks gaslight, I think about the video that I did. And like I said, you guys, I haven't even really been able to get up the nerve to actually watch the video myself. So, but I do, before I go in, on some of the issues that I found with the responses to that video, I will say this. First, I want to acknowledge the people who just, just poured out a lot of love and support and understanding. And people have inboxed me and told me their stories and have been so empowered to tell their own stories that it's like, it's just amazing. It's like, it's amazing how, how this is empowering, others. But then it also is enraging because it's like you can see, you know, when I say you, I mean like leaders in the church. They can see how this is impacting people. You can see by the comments on the video that, you know, people have been impacted and this is a real thing. So when I was thinking about this post, I didn't want to I didn't really like want to gloss over the people who have, you know, who have been supportive and who you know, who have just really just outpoured love. You know, I don't want to overshadow those people, but the people who are not doing that are really harmful, and those things need to be addressed. And so that's what I want to address now in this video. So the bishop told me to talk to my father. This was the response to the live video I did most recently, just a few days ago, where I was reading some excerpts from my book, and I was just in a real low place emotionally, and just really doubting if I wanted to even be a Christian anymore. And this is what he told me to do. He was like, talk to your dad. And it was like, you know, I started to get angry because I was like, from everything that I've said, right? I've said that I'm afraid of my father. I'm afraid that he would harm me because of the things that he's done and the threats that he's made. And I'm just like, see, that's how people get killed. That's exactly how people get killed. I don't even go on that side of town when my father's in town. See, I know for sure he's going to be in town on Sundays and Wednesdays because he has a church and he still preaches. So I know he's in town, and I don't even go over there because I don't want any type of run-ins. So why would you tell me to go and talk to him? Why? And then the other days that I'm not in town, that he's not in town, I'm watchful. And why am I watchful? Because he has properties here. He has business that he does here. He has appointments that he attends at the same VA clinic that I attend. And when I tell you that I'm afraid of him, when I tell you that when I was 5 years old, okay, this was my very first encounter with him, violently. He slammed my leg in a car door. I was 5 years old. And you tell me to go and talk to him? What do you think he'll do now? That's when I was 5. There's been other instances since then. But what do you think he'll do now? Now that we're both grown, like I'm grown too, and we both have guns. What do you think will happen? He lives 2 hours from me, but he preaches 20 minutes from me. I'm actually surprised I haven't run into him yet. Because like I said, there just preaches 20 minutes from me. We have appointments at the same VA clinic. He has properties here and business here. He preaches with a bulletproof vest on. armed with a handgun and an extra clip handy. And you tell me to talk to him. And then I had talked to a cousin of mine, and the cousin left a message on my post as well. And I think that what made me really angry about her response was that when I talked to her on the phone about what was going on with my father, she acknowledged that my father was into some nefarious things, some devilment, when he was in Detroit, when he lived in Detroit, when he was younger. And as a result of the things that he was doing and the things that he was into, we had to flee to Germany. He said that people were trying to kill him. Hey, Sherry. Hey, Shalama. Hey, y'all. We had to flee to Germany because people were trying to kill him. And the people that he said was trying to kill him specifically was Dietrich Haddon's dad, who is my first cousin. It's his dad who is my uncle, who is a bishop. And then when I told her, I was like, you know, I don't know who I can trust in a family, you know, like, and that also factors into why I feel alone, because my father isolated us. That was one of his main manipulation and control tactics. And so I don't know who to trust in a family. It was family who was trying to kill him. Like, it was so serious that he told us that we would have to change our names. Because Dietrich Haddon's dad was trying to kill him. And she said, well, we know that's not true. Which is another gaslighting statement. And I'm just like, this is just gaslighting left and right. Yeah, well, like, I believed it. I believed it my entire life. We were running my entire life. I was born on the run. And these people were trying to kill him, which were family members who were leaders in the church. And I believed it until I had to analyze it for myself. And then what I said to myself was, these people, the people that I see on TV, the people that I sat near at my grandmother's funeral, the people that I see at the family reunion, they just don't seem, this doesn't add up. This doesn't really seem like the type of people who would be trying to kill him. So I didn't know, like, I don't know who to trust. I don't know. How could I know? But then there's a statement, don't let nobody turn you from God. And I'm just like, I said I was turning away from Christianity to a religion. So it's like, does my soul, my spirit, My being, is that not important to you? Because it really seems like you'd rather be happy if I would just shut up. Because then this would all go away. Because then you wouldn't have to be uncomfortable. You wouldn't have to see the posts. You wouldn't have to watch the videos. You wouldn't have to hear people talking about it. Y'all like and share the video. But that's what Christianity has become. For me and a lot of people. We're focused on the symptoms instead of the root cause of the sickness. We're focused on the symptoms. It was like I said that I was thinking about not being a Christian anymore, and it was like I might as well have said I was a devil worshiper. Instead of listening to what I was saying in the video. Because it's like there is no real intention, no real interest in actually fixing the problem and actually healing. It's only interest in covering it up. And so really, like, I'm at a point where, like, I don't want your prayers. I don't want your prayers. Because at this point, I feel like you're praying against me. At this point, I don't feel like your prayers are in my best interest. At this point, I don't want your love. I don't want your love because I find your expression of it to be unacceptable and insincere. I find your expression of it unacceptable and insincere. And it's like I am trying so hard not to attack people. Because now I have focused fury. See, like, my husband and my kids used to catch hell because of my daddy issues. But now I know where and how to direct it. It's called focused fury. But the system that enables and props these people up, they're a target. They're a target of righteous rage. And so when Bishop told me not to blame my father, first, I know that enraged a lot of people. It just, I don't know, the gaslight statement of the year. It was like, who else is responsible here? And so then I thought, well, you know what, Bishop? Maybe you're responsible. You're enabling and you're supporting and you're covering it up. And now you want to gaslight me and deflect and minimize and manipulate. Hey, Denisha. Hey, Trell. Hey, y'all. So then I asked this question. What happened when you talked to him, Bishop? I mean, I'm assuming that you talked to him, right? I mean, you are the bishop and his big brother. So what happened? You want me to talk to him? What happened when you talked to him? Can I assume that the conversation went like he probably made you feel like you was really helping him, that you was really getting through? Oh, you know what? Yeah. I see now. It's probably, he said something probably like that. Or maybe he cried about it and said, you know what? The devil is trying to attack me. This is a Jobal experience. This is a Jobal experience. Or maybe he said, you know what? The devil's attacking. We're all supposed to be rich because of this vision that God gave me. Or maybe the conversation was filled with rage and manipulation and control and coercion and blackmail. I wanted to read this. First Timothy 3:1-16. If anyone wants to provide leadership in the church, good. But there are preconditions. A leader must be well thought of, committed to his wife, cool and collected, accessible and hospitable. He must know what he's talking about, not be overfond of wine, not pushy but gentle, not thin-skinned, not money hungry. He must handle his own affairs well, attentive to his own children, having their respect. If anyone is unable to handle his own affairs, how can he take care of God's church? He must not be a new believer, lest the position go to his head and the devil trip him up. Outsiders must think well of him, or the devil will figure out a way to lure him into his trap. That's 1 Timothy 3:1-7. That's the Message Bible that I was reading from. So you are literally enabling and supporting the antithesis of this entire passage. We are enabling bad behavior and using Christianity to do it. And you, Bishop, are using your position as a spiritual leader, as a familial elder, to hush me instead of using your position as a spiritual leader and a familiar elder to affect real change, to enable real healing. And real forgiveness. So I feel like I'm catching it on both sides, because there's the family aspect and then there's the Christian aspect. And I'm just trying to figure out, like, when are we going to admit that what we are doing in the church and what we are doing in our families is not working? It's hurting people. It's hurting people. And how are we supposed to heal? I was just thinking about, I had to go in a little bit, y'all. But I was just thinking about, and I wrote some stuff down. I have not only persevered, but I have excelled despite my father. I earned a bachelor's degree and a master's degree. Then I joined the Army and earned the rank of captain. I became ill and I was medically retired from the Army at the rank of captain. Then when I got out of the military, I earned another master's degree in clinical mental health counseling. Then I studied and passed the test and became a nationally certified counselor. And I did that knowing that there was a possibility that my sickness would prevent me from ever really being able to work in that field. But I knew that God was leading me to counseling. I knew that there was a purpose for it. But I'm saying that now to say this, that I feel that should at least earn me some credibility here. That it should at least give me the benefit of the doubt with you. That's more credentials than my father has. He barely got a GED, received no formal education. And you tell him all your business. You give him access to your kids and your spouse. He simply acquired a building and called himself a pastor. And he has unquestioned access to every part of your life. And that's a harsh reality of a lot of spiritual leaders. But I have to tout my achievements just to be able to tell my story. Just to keep my character from being assassinated. And still, I feel that I'm the one who looks unstable and unhinged. But that's grace that I give myself, because I know that that is the most normal reaction in all of this. For me to be unstable and unhinged is a normal reaction in all of this madness. So let me offer you this thought. At my core, I'm a little girl who's been hurt, manipulated, and used by my natural father. And he did it all in the name of my heavenly Father. And he and you and others like him make me and the rest of us believe that we can't question that and we can't call it out. It's like, if I don't let you see my heartbreak, you'll never even grasp how serious this is. Yet you saw my heartbreak. And you still That's why people are afraid of Christians. Because we face down our giants, and then we have to contend with our fellow believers too. It's like, what side are you on? Like, really, what side are you on here? And when I think about what I've been through, I think about my brothers. I think about other people who have not been able to get formal education and articulate in the way that I can, or write in the way that I can, to be able to express this hurt. So I do it for them, for all of us. I'm facing down my giant while he's still alive. But that's grace that I give him. Because as long as there is breath in his body, he can make a change. Not for me. It won't be for me or for our relationship or anything to do with me. Because he's dead to me. But that's what I have to tell myself to keep things in perspective, to silence his voices in my head. But in real life, he's dangerous. And I'm not stupid. So I'm not going to put myself in a position where we're trying to kill each other. Because I carry And he heavily carries. Because like I said, he wears a bulletproof vest in the pulpit when he preaches. But I gotta go. So I'm just gonna leave you guys with this. Don't let people gaslight you with their so-called well intentions. Because these are the same people that will set you up for a face-to-face meeting. Like, I firmly believe, totally believe that the people who do not understand, specifically the spiritual leaders that I have addressed in this video, these are the same people who will set up a meeting and they'll just be like, well, yeah, just come meet with us because we just want to pray with you and give you some encouragement, you know. And then I show up and he's there, armed to the teeth. Armed to the teeth, bulletproof vested down, and here I am thinking it's just a meeting with you guys. And then he does exactly what he's been saying that he's going to do. All the threats that he's made, all the things that he said he'd do it. And then these are the same people who will show up to court and they'll be testifying on his behalf. And they'll just be like, well, we just never imagined that he would do that. And no, we don't believe it was premeditated. No, that's just not the man we knew. No, he's not a danger to anybody. He's a man of God. It's like you're not even listening. You're not listening to me, and you're obviously not listening to him. And so my question is, why would anybody want to be a part of this? So, maybe I shouldn't blame my father. Maybe, Bishop, I should blame you. The systems and the people that prop him up, and others like him, are in need of a serious overhaul. All right, y'all, I gotta go. So I love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Please like, share this video. Bye-bye for now.